What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. So, got a neat one today. A couple months ago, I went to this really cool cigar box guitar exhibit. And I don't know if you know anything about cigar box guitars, but I didn't really know a whole lot at the time. And I've always just kind of seen them around, you know, like you'd see them in pawn shops or something, or like yard sales, trade day kind of things. Or just like, you know, you'd know somebody that had built one and they kind of thrown it together and maybe, you know, like the nut was made out of like a screw or something. And you're like, okay, yeah, it's cool. But the cigar box guitars that I was seeing at this exhibit were like really next level guitars. And I was talking to a lot of the people there about how they built the guitars and stuff and what kind of parts they were using and whatnot. And I wound up buying one. So, I bought this guitar made from a Cohiba cigar box. So, I'm a cigar aficionado, I guess you could say myself. I have a pretty okay cigar collection and I like smoking cigars. So, it kind of combines two of my hobbies together that I didn't really expect to like be that into. But the more I was kind of checking out the guitars and looking at them, I was like, man, this is really cool. And this guitar has like some pickups in it. And you can see the fretboard is real funky. It's a diatonic scale. So it almost kind of doesn't matter what you do. It all sounds good. And for something like this that was kind of new to me, this little 3-string guitar thing, I thought, you know, that'll be cool. I can kind of have the fretboard be like foolproof, if you will, right? And I wound up jamming with some of the guys there and jamming it. They had like a concert after the exhibit, and I just kind of improvised some stuff and played for a little bit. It was real cool. I had a really good time. And the guy that built this guitar was real cool. He was there. His name's Logan Elliott. Thanks for the cool guitar, man. Number 710. Out of this super cool, like retro-looking Cohiba box. So that got me talking to a bunch of the other people there. And one of the guys I wound up talking to is a guy named Mike. And he operates this company called MGB Guitars. And what they do is he makes like kits and parts and stuff that you can buy offline. So if you want to build your own cigar box guitar, you don't have to go into it like totally blind. He makes his own pickups, he makes pre-fretted fretboards, the templates to like cut the neck pockets and the pickup cavities and stuff with. It's a really cool idea. So it can get you into the hobby super easy. And, you know, like most people that are getting into this aren't going to be like skilled luthiers. And so it's a really easy way to get into building your first guitar without fear of like really messing it up, right? All you gotta do is find you a good cigar box and go to MGB Guitars and buy you a template and like a kit and a pickup, and all of a sudden you're like halfway there, right? So me and him got to talking, and he was like, hey, let me build you a guitar, like a 6-string, you know, like full scale guitar that you can like actually play. And they had a band there, and all the guys in the band were playing some guitars and basses that he had built, and they sounded killer. They sounded and played, for that matter, because he let me play a couple of them. They sounded and played just like guitars and basses, you know, and I was really blown away by them. So, me and him kept talking after the fest, and a couple months go by. And here it is. This is my MGB Cigar Box Guitar. So, full disclosure, Mike built me this guitar and sent it to me. So, I guess you could I guess you could say this is like a sponsored video, sort of, kind of. You know, he did send me the guitar, which I'm super appreciative of, and this guitar is super cool. So thank you, Mike. But all thoughts and opinions are my own. But I will say this. If I didn't like it, I wouldn't make a video and like bash it, because it's just not my thing. I'm not into that. Like, I'm not going to spend the time to make a video about something I don't like. So the fact that I'm making the video at all tells you that I like the guitar and that it was a cool guitar. So I did have a lot of input on this about what I wanted out of it and what I was going to use it for and all that kind of stuff. So it does have a 24 3/4 inch Gibson scale. The neck is bolted on, even though it doesn't really look like it. It's like bolted on from the inside of the box. It's I'm probably going to pronounce this wrong, an Abita or an Abate. I can't remember the name of the cigar brand, but he likes these particular boxes because they're very, like, they're larger, and it's almost like a little mini humidor. Like, these are really high-end cigars, so this is almost like a little mini humidor, and it's real sturdy, so it's a really good box to build these guitars out of. You can see the neck's painted, bound. I mean, this just feels like a legit guitar neck. I mean, it is just a legit guitar neck, and it feels really good, and it plays really good too. So yeah, all the hardware and stuff is stuff that you can buy from MGB Guitars. The pickup is a pickup he makes called the Hot Tuna, and it's like a Firebird mini humbucker style kind of pickup. It's about 7.5K is what this one measured at. It does have a push-pull pot on the tone pot, so you got a volume and a tone. And I just wanted mine with one pickup, but you could get it, you know, any way you wanted it. So yeah, that is my MGB Cigar Box Guitar. So definitely not your grandpa's cigar box guitar, right? But this is a super cool community. MGB Guitars is a really cool website. You check them out. If I remember, I will link the website in the description, so you can go to the website and check it out. And I just couldn't believe this was a cigar box. I couldn't believe it sounded and played the way it sounded and played. It just blew me away. I mean, like I was saying, in the past, I've come across cigar box guitars, and they've all just been kind of like a homemade novelty kind of thing. Most of them didn't intonate at all. You know, most of them sounded kind of weird, or the necks were like bent up and pulling forward and stuff. You know, but the people that were in this community, like, really have it down. They know what they're doing, and they're building some super cool guitars. And they have such a unique thing going on, and such a unique sound. And I just really like what Mike's doing with MGB. I like that the whole community of builders, even people that aren't like directly affiliated with MGB, a lot of them buy the parts and the kits and stuff, because it just makes building the guitar so much easier and so much more accessible to people who might not really have any luthier skills or anything like that. So I think what they're doing is really cool, and it's just really cool to be a part of it too. So I made a demo with this, and I'm about to play it for you. But before I do the demo of this guitar, I will put there's some live clips of me playing Logan's guitar. I got a couple live clips of me playing this guitar Logan built at the fest, and I'll put them in here so you can kind of see what was going on with that and hear this guitar a little bit. And then I'll hit you with the fully produced demo I did here in my studio with this guitar. So the cigar box guitar community is a lot more oriented around like bluegrass, folky, bluesy kind of stuff. And so I was telling Mike, like, the kind of stuff I do, the kind of stuff I was into. He was like, I don't know if we ever had like a hard rock, you know, like metal kind of like cigar box guitar thing. So I was kind of hell bent. I was like, I'm going to make this work on this. But I really didn't have to do a whole lot because the guitar's just built so well, and it intonates how I need it to. It plays how I like a guitarist to play. The neck feels very similar to the kind of guitars behind me that I'm used to. So it wasn't a big departure feel-wise here at all. The body took a little bit getting used to. Sitting down and even wearing it, like when you wear it with a strap, it does kind of want to do like the SG thing a little bit. But I mean, it's a hollow cigar box. Come on. But I was super impressed with the tones I got. I just couldn't believe that it sounded the way it sounded. I am using, for the clean part at the beginning of the demo of this, I'm using Neural DSP Gojira, the clean amp in that. And for the dirty tones, I'm using the STL Tones Will Putney Suite. I think I'm using if I remember correctly, I'm using a Bogner, Ubershaw, and the 5150 model blended together. And for the clean section, I used the coil split. So, I hope you guys dig this demo. Go check out MGB Guitars. Hit them up if you're interested in having one of these built for you, or buying the kit and the parts and putting it together yourself. I think it'd be a really cool, it's a really cool, different thing to have amongst your arsenal of guitars, and you can get some really neat tones out of it. So, hope you guys liked the video. Check out the demos, and I'll be back next week.